45-year-old Roderick Randall was behind bars after leaving his gun unsecured, resulting in his 8-year-old son shooting 2 toddlers, killing one of them and injuring the other. The incident occurred in the early morning hours of the 26th of June 2022 at the Lime Motel, located at 3114 Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Drive in Pensacola, Florida. Roderick was there with his girlfriend as well as 4 children, his 8-year-old son, his girlfriend's 1-year-old daughter, and her other 2-year-old twin daughters. The investigators said that Roderick left the hotel, but left his firearm in the closet, thinking it was safe in its holster. Roderick's girlfriend was asleep on the couch. While she was sleeping, the boy knew where the gun was hidden and retrieved the firearm. The boy then pulled the gun from the holster and started playing with it when he accidentally fired around and hit the 1-year-old girl, killing her. The bullet then went through and struck one of the 2-year-old toddlers, who was injured and taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The girl's mother said she did not hear any gunshots as she was asleep and did not know what happened. The investigators said that Roderick then returned to the motel room, saw what happened, and took the gun and what deputies believed were drugs and left the room again. Roderick was arrested and charged with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, 2 counts of culpable negligence and tampering with evidence, and failure to store a firearm in the required manner. He was held at the Escambia County Jail, but was released later that day on a $41,000 bond. Roderick's been under the custody of the Florida Department of Corrections 3 times since 1995, for convictions including drug charges, resisting an officer with violence, and aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. He's due to appear in court on the 15th of July. 20-year-old Pablo Lucero is behind bars after being accused of robbing a pizza shop while carrying 2 firearms. The incident occurred at around 2:30 p.m. on the 26th of June 2022, when officers responded to a call about a man with a weapon at the Little Caesars Pizza Shop, located at 602 West Holt Boulevard in Ontario, California. The authorities said the suspect entered the store and started displaying a firearm that staff observed in the waistband of his pants. Officers arrived as a man was seen leaving the store with stolen food and noticed a large rifle in his shirt and told him to stop and put his hands up, but he didn't comply. Deputies then used a stun gun on him to subdue him and took him into custody. Officers seized an AR-15 assault rifle and a 9mm polymer handgun from him. No one inside the Little Caesars was injured. Pablo is charged on suspicion of multiple firearm and robbery charges. He's held at the West Valley Detention Center on a $100,000 bail. On the 27th of June 2022, Bryce Rand pleaded guilty to 2 counts of murder, 2 counts of child abuse, and 1 count of mutilation in the 2015 death of 4-month-old Davina Schran and the 2020 death of their special needs 2-year-old son Thaddeus. The toddler was non-verbal and required a feeding tube to eat. Bryce Ida's husband, 43-year-old Sukhjinder Schran, also pleaded guilty to killing Thaddeus, though authorities said there's no evidence he had anything to do with Davina's death. Thaddeus's parents reported Thaddeus missing from their Madera, California home on the morning of the 14th of July 2020. They told police that the toddler had vanished from his room after they put him to bed the previous night. They speculated that someone had snatched him from his crib through an open window in the boy's room. News of Thaddeus' supposed kidnapping quickly spread throughout the local community. Hundreds of people, including investigators and members of the public, took part in the search for him, with many handing out missing flyers and taking part in volunteer search parties. On the 23rd of July 2020, cadaver dogs found Thaddeus' charred remains buried in a nearby orchard, and his parents were arrested and charged with his murder the following day. Bryce Ida had previously been investigated for Davina's death in 2015. Her daughter suffered from very serious medical issues, and no charges were filed at the time. Bryce Ida had previously been investigated for Davina's death in 2015. Her daughter suffered from very serious medical issues, and no charges were filed at the time. The discovery of Thaddeus' body, however, caused the investigators to reopen the case for Davina's death. The authorities said that Davina had sustained injuries that were not normal, but claimed they did not have enough evidence to bring charges against anyone at the time of her death. However, due to the similarities in the injuries sustained by Thaddeus and Davina, as well as the new undisclosed evidence, prosecutors were able to file the additional charges against Bryce Ida. After pleading guilty to killing both children, Bryce Ida faces 28 years in prison. Her husband Sugjinder pleaded guilty to the killing of Thaddeus, but there's no evidence he was involved in the killing of Davina. He faces 11 years in prison. The coroner's office was not able to determine the cause of death for either child, and a motive in their killings remains unknown. The couple faced sentencing in the Madera County Superior Court on the 29th of July 2022.